Welcome to Durham, North Carolina, a very up-and-coming, tech-savvy city, and Audi has chosen this place to launch the 2017 S3, a very innovative, very high-tech vehicle. So it's a mid-cycle refresh, came out a couple of years ago, but they've done some really nice changes. I'm going to walk you through those. No major changes under the hood. You still have a 2-liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 292 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. But Audi wanted to be very clear that this is not just a boosted up version of their 2-liter you find in the A4, for example. You have a different radiator and a different turbo booster, as well as some other parts that give it that extra power. 220 on the standard 2-liter turbo, 292, so a lot more power. The design changes are subtle. What they've done is they've added standard LED headlights and standard LED taillights, and you now have 19-inch wheels. These are the 5-spoke variant, and there's another option as well. All of this is designed to give it a refreshed look. But one of the changes I really like is what they've done with the Quattro system. What they've actually done is allow more torque towards the rear. It's still a front-wheel drive bias vehicle, but it handles a little bit more like a rear-wheel drive car. For 2017, the Audi S3 gets a mid-cycle refresh, which typically means changes to the front and rear fascia, which it did receive, and those are quite pleasant. But really the big news is that they've added the virtual cockpit, which we've seen in the A4, Q7, TT, and R8, and now this is the next model to get it. It's great technology. I really like how they've split it up as opposed to Mercedes, for example, that just has 2 large screens. I think they put a lot more thought into this. You still have a pop-up navigation screen, infotainment screen for passengers, which you can nicely tuck away, but everything you need is right here. That's why it's called the virtual cockpit, and this is definitely the future of how car companies are going to be handling gauges. Audi has it really dialed in with the perfect shadows. It's hard to tell that these are not analog gauges. They really behave like that. The other big news is they've made some tweaks to the Quattro system, so now you can have a little more fun. It's still front-wheel drive bias, don't get me wrong, but it adds a little more torque to the rear end, so you can have a little more fun, especially in dynamic mode. This is a nice little car. Packs a lot of punch, 292 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission, and it's a fun little car. Think of it like an Audi TTS with 4 doors and 4 seats. You know, a lot of these sedans nowadays just don't have much backroom seat anyway. I just got out of an E300, which is a midsize, and it didn't have the most spacious rear seat. This car has even less, but if you only need that rear seat occasionally, why not step into something like this? Starting price $43,000, fully loaded. The vehicle we're driving today about $51,000, and it's just a lot of fun. This is, think of it like a sports car, but with 4 doors. And I think they've done a really good job. It's their entry-level sedan. It's doing really well for them. It's the sporty version of the A3, and they tell us there's an RS3 coming, and expect that to have over 400 horsepower. Hard to believe something with such a small footprint would have so much power, but that's definitely coming down the pike. Add something else to the mix. Subaru WRX or WRX STI, those are wonderful vehicles, but if you're, say, over 35 years old, you may not want to ride around in a boy racer car and you want something a little more sophisticated. Well, the Audi S3 gives you that. It's a lot of fun, plenty of horsepower, plenty of torque, and you have much better luxurious appointments. Audi claims 0 to 60 times on the S3, 4.7 seconds. We actually found it to be closer to 4.4, 4.5 seconds. When you consider the starting price of $43,000, you get a lot of bang for the buck. I look at this as a very sophisticated version of the Subaru WRX, for example, a car that you probably wouldn't want to be seen in if you're over 35 years old with a big wing on the back. This gives you that sophistication and luxury you expect from a brand like Audi. I'm Ron Doran. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.